and they didn't, you know what I mean.
But what happened was a survival of the fittest. The big companies got bigger and the small companies basically are fading away.
Which is what tends to typically happen.
Yeah, which is what they tried to explain, for instance, to our president. If you let well enough alone, the system will sort itself out. It looks like at the moment, at least, the automobile afterparts market has sorted itself out.
Actually, I was real happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There weren't as many press conferences from major companies this year as there were in the past, though. That was sort of the odd part. You know, and there weren't as many press conferences from the little companies. It's just sort of like there were press conferences, and then they weren't press conferences. I mean, some of them were just basically reasons for celebrating something. They tell people about it, but you know, some of the people, for instance, Craftsman, once for the second year in a row, didn't have a press conference. I
know. I actually, you know what? Part of it is we were so busy the entire time. I didn't go back to the floor to even check and see if Craftsman was there.
I went to the tool area. I went to tool areas where they were all at, and I didn't see. I saw a lot of companies from Asia with tools, but not Craftsman. I also I saw companies that basically are traditionally over at Sema, over at Apex this time.
You know, one of the companies I wanted to see was Black & Decker because they have some new products coming out, and we totally missed them. Because I thought they were at Sema and Apex, but they were only at Apex.
I know, that's what the problem is we generally do, what happens is, I'll stop off at Apex to do the floor because since you can't take pictures in there, and I can guarantee you.
Even though they tell you that this year you're supposed to be able to take pictures.
Oh yeah, we had thing that specifically that said photography allowed at Apex on our. We had an Apex thing this time for doing over there. There was. And the time I was over there, I mean, you're talking guys didn't even get bloggies out to shoot things.
Oh, really?
And outside the new products things, we had the Venetian Nazis walking back and forth, making certain that nobody took pictures of any of the new products that they want everybody to see. So, but it's just the thing. It's just like one thing. I'll swear the amount of press corps was way down now.
You know what? I agree with you on that one.
Because it just, when you can get, every time you go in, you can get a computer or a seat to set to put up your own computers. When we went there, there were people standing, waiting in line to get on computers. And it's like they said, though, one of the things is that the SEMA tends to be older as far as press is concerned. You know, the younger people are there, but for the most part, they tend to be 60 and above. And
not all of them.
No, they said the average age of age of the press of SEMA is about 60.
Really?
Yeah.
We did have some younger ones, but there's not as many young ones as there have been in the past.
Yeah, a lot of the younger ones were exhibitor press, though. They were working for the people downstairs, and therefore exhibitor press comes into the press room too. You know, because you see, because even though they had free Wi-Fi across the thing, the best place to get Wi-Fi, unless you brought your own computer, was upstairs and used one of those computers in the press room. I also didn't see as much space dedicated to personal interviewing this time as in the past.
What do you mean?
You know, where they set aside the things, you know, for people to come in and interview personnel that were there. So
we didn't see as many video cruises before.
No, not as many video cruises.
Or celebrities.
You know, I'm sort of a godfather again. I saw one celebrity, I can't tell you the name because the woman was looking ancient. But she was there, she plays I would put it this way, she's known for playing a very dumb blonde. Guess what? She was there with her son, and her son was trying to be anywhere but, you know, I think this is dangerous. Why would you be selling something dangerous to someone when my son?
But that sounds like a mom.
Kid's like 21 years old. You know, he doesn't live at home, but he brought his mom. He mistakenly brought his mom to the SEMA show. You know, I don't think that you should be selling something like that because it's dangerous. No, we've been in business for 50 years. It wasn't dangerous for your grandparents. So, which she did say, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, grandparents 50 years, yeah. You know, that wouldn't have happened because she's well beyond that age, but she looked like she looked old enough to be grandparents' age. But I saw her, I saw basically there were some NASCAR people. There was Mario Andretti, there was Chip Fosse, and but for the most part, you know, like I'm used to, you know, seeing some major actor, you know, like Anthony Paglia's brother. You know, I basically held the lights one time so you could get underneath the car and check out the cherry bomb mufflers. So other people, I mean, I've seen William James Elliott over there. I've seen a lot of people from Las Vegas would be over, you know, show people would be in checking out the car part, because a lot of people in the entertainment business basically like to screw around with their automobiles. The other one I didn't see was R.J. Wagner, who tends to hang at those places because he likes to take apart automobiles and rebuild them. So that's sort of like a home for someone like him. But
yeah, and Chip Foose was there, except we didn't see him at any press conferences.
No, he was basically, I guess, from booth to booth that are basically got Chip Fosse colors or something.
Yeah, Michael Andretti was there. Danica Patrick I didn't see this year.
No, I didn't see. They said that. I don't know. I can't verify this.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even, because I didn't go to North Hall. I didn't even know if Motorola was there.
I didn't see him, but one of the press people coming back from Apex said that I didn't see any of the NASCAR people that were listed on their list, and you know. But I told him that. Well, actually, I had a different list. He got a list from manufacturers. We had the press list of official celebrity things. So. He basically hung out at Apex, which they said had better food than did the Sema area, which I never got over that area, so I wouldn't know. But I give him, over in the press room, they had a multi-page thing of when who the celebrities were and where they're going to be, so I give him that. So he decided to spend, you know, the next couple of days walking around Sema, which he didn't go to. Because what he dealt in was at Apex, not, he didn't buy doors, he didn't buy, you know, headliners. That's not what he was covering. He was covering the nuts and bolts of the business. Ooh, everybody hear that light, folks? That was a click on the light. But you know, and altogether, it was better than last year, and probably, like I said, what we do, about half a dozen plus trade shows a year.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that we saw an uptick on the last day.
I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Really, really surprised.
Yeah, and it's because that's our day for going around and catching everything.
I know, but I'm sitting there thinking about CES, because CES is one of our longer trade shows, so by the very last day we are so wiped out. Yeah. But I'm almost thinking we should stay an extra day, so the last day of the trade show, we're still there. Yeah. And then we pack up the next day. Because usually the last day is like everything's packed in the car, we run over there. And
we basically tend to book something on the next day after most trade shows, which is never a smart thing to do. But this year, our basic problem is that we hope we'll be doing the Rose Parade in 3D this year. But the SEMA show backs right into the Rose Parade one day after.
Oh, the CES show.
The CES show backs into it, so.
I know, that is crazy. Well, and the reason is, and you're going, how is it so early? Well, January 1st is the Rose Parade, and so after the Rose Parade, it's like, we are just totally exhausted. Yeah. Because our Rose Parade coverage does not start on January 1st. No. Ours starts the day after Christmas for every single day.
Yeah, and all day long. Because the day after Christmas, we try to do Disney, and that basically we're there. They escort us in, they escort us out, since But the very next day, though, it's basically like from about 8 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night every day.
Yeah, we get back and we're pretty tired.
Yeah, because we basically go over to the press room, find out what's going on, grab a bite, charge up everything, and go head out again.
Well, part of it is CES starts for press days. Actually starts on
it starts
on the 3rd, isn't it?
That's right.
3rd of January, which means you come back wiped out on the 1st. The second day,
we're recovering.
It's your recovery
and
day.
You're trying to get everything all put together for you.
And then you have to leave the next morning at about 7 a.m. to go to CES.
It's an entirely switch over on equipment, because we have to have a different set of clothing, different everything, because we're dressing for, either it's either cold or it's warm for Rose Parade, or it's rained on us once a bit. So, I mean, last year we didn't go do the band thing for the first time ever because it was raining. We didn't want to get our new cameras wet.
Oh yeah, but this year we got 3D cameras.
This time we got 3D cameras. We're probably going to house the cameras this year, so if they get wet, it's not going to damage our cameras. But it's just then after that, you know, that comes, you know, we basically. We can't go to Detroit Auto Show because Detroit Auto Show conflicts with the last days of Sema. Or CES, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you have to miss out on a few days of CES to go to do Detroit.
Yeah, so it's just
and
impossible.
Detroit, the last few years,
it's not
been as big of a deal.
So the LA Auto is supposedly going to have 50 new car debuts right there. Of course, unfortunately, we've already seen some of them over at Sema.
Oh, yeah, we've already seen that.
I got nice video and pictures of some of those
cars. We saw some at the Orange County Auto Show, too.
Yeah, we're sure there. Which they were talking about, well, you know, we're bringing it out here so that...
oh, well, Apple also is at the same time as CES.
I
mean,
know.
they do it literally.
They've done it deliberately.
During CES Press, actually, you go to CES Press Day, and the second day of CES Press Day is typically the Apple event.
Yeah, they try not to step on the main press day, but the problem is they step on the main press day because the people there can't get to San Francisco for their press conference. It's because you gotta. I mean, actually, we did it when what we did once was when the LA Auto Show wrapped over.
When it was in January, did CES?
It was in January. We did the LA Auto Show, went to CES, came back from CES, and filled in the last of the LA Auto Show.
I think that was our first CES, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned
and then we learned better. It's like you're at CES, just stay there.
Because I drove up there in a snowstorm, and it does snow, folks. You know, she's asleep and I'm driving, and I'm looking out like this, and you know, where's the road? Then you get into the desert, it's all gone. But she slept completely through the snowstorm because she was, because I think that was the first time we did anything. And if we'd have had you imagine if we'd have had the Rose Parade, the LA Auto CES, and the LA Auto begin.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We were much younger and much stupider at that time, but we did do the next year. We did the Rose Parade and did CES, you know, right on top of one another.
Well, it is practically on top of each other this year.
Yeah, but this time we went up the day before. Remember? So yeah, actually, so it's a weird thing. But we think we'll be able to let you know about trade shows more after. The next big one. I mean, if it changes into 11, from what we can see, because we may actually go back to Magic again. I'm not certain whether we want to or not because it's 3 days from 5.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 3.5 days down from 5,
oh.
And so we could go or not go. But there's not as much. I mean, most of the people we know don't even do Magic anymore.
I know, that's part of it.
So, but like I said, we're trying to keep you informed as best we can. And like I said, this is one thing. We were asked at Sema by some people, why are you shooting everything in 3D? And our response, you know, first of all, we can. Our second response is simply that if you're not willing to shoot everything in 3D, you're not going to get anything in 3D because it's not cost effective. It's cost effective the more you do, because you can get better equipment, better software, a bigger computer, because it really takes a god-awful big computer to process 3D. So, I mean, you're seeing, like right now, this is our 3D. Hi there in 3D. You just see now this big chick standing in front of me, and then, okay, next, see? Yeah. And then to answer the question again, why, since my leg isn't broken, why am I hiding behind the thing? Well,
because he usually is.
Yeah, actually, no, we'll tell everybody the truth. I mean, yesterday, the old person had a minor stroke yesterday.
Yeah, the old person being old Cam.
Yeah.
But he's still in front of the camera for you today.
I'm still in front of the camera because as I tried to explain to her, what I know is working. I don't know not working. So, and then nobody's looking at me for my looks. I hide the leg behind this.
You lean against that?
I lean against that. And I don't, as you notice, there's not a whole lot of stuff for me to pick up this time.